When Jesus tells us to not be anxious, to not be stressed out, why does that seem to not help me not be anxious? Hi, I'm Ted Rosenblatt, and this is Talks with Dad Rod. I'm here with Dr. Rod Rosenblatt. Dad, that seems like law to me. You should not stress, little sheep.
Yeah.
And I kind of laugh and go, it seems like you're telling me not to bleat.
Yeah.
Tell the sheep not to bleat.
Yeah. Difficult question for believers. For me, the verses about being not anxious for tomorrow are really tough. I'm anxious a lot, wired to be anxious, and evidently that writer is too. That's going to be with us until the day we die. As believers, I one time joked, but I'm not a lily. I have a mortgage. And there are a lot who can sort of agree with that. It'll be with us till the day we die, and we are dependent on the promises until the day we die. It's what we've been given. These are the promises to us as believers, and the anxiety we're just going to have to live with as best we can.
Well, and I think that, Scripture itself isn't necessarily a help in this in other places either. We are told to expect tribulation.
Yes.
We are not told this is live your best life now. That's not what it says, right?
Right.
Scripture is very clear. They hated me, therefore they will hate you.
Yeah.
Whichever direction you want to put that.
Yep.
And we are to expect that we will be poorly treated, I'll put it mildly, in our faith. So that doesn't help me.
Right.
This kingdom, we in this kingdom, Christ is an enemy. That this is not good news, and he is hated in many places in this kingdom.
Yep.
So as a believer, that doesn't comfort me at night when I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah. I wish I had a different scriptural answer, but I don't.
This is where we're going to fall into the Scripture doesn't say specifically anything other than what it says. So what then, as believers, should we then look to, or where do we find our comfort? Where do we find? And we've touched on this. You're going to see us do this regularly. We're coming back towards comfort, and I've always likened it to what your dad did, being a surgeon, being a doctor. I liken it to a good bedside manner. We're trying to come to the patient here at 1517 and bring comfort. We're not trying to make the patient get up right after surgery and march around,
right?
And follow orders.
And think of one of the greatest examples in English literature, Pilgrim's Progress, when he finally has to cross the river. It's one of the greatest sections in all of English literature because his companion says, I'm going to go through it with you. And then comes out on the other side to hear all the church bells welcome him after death, and everybody encompasses him around and helps him to unbuckle his armor. That's worth reading.
And that's where our favorite hymn comes into play, For All the Saints.
Yep.
Look that one up. The text of that hymn is practically Tolkienian, I've said.
Yeah. There are places I just can't sing. I'm crying. For all the saints who from their labors rest.
The greater picture that we get, even though this little thing, there are little parts like this that can be frustrating. And I certainly am looking forward to asking Jesus about later.
Sure.
Those parts don't comfort me. They frustrate me. But there are the things that teachers and preachers are called to bring the main point of Scripture, and that is the gospel.
Yep.
That is the comfort.
Yep.
That is the comfort. That is right.
And that's how you find a church. And I don't mean sort of an altar call tacked on at the end. I mean preaching Christ to the whole congregation.
Start to finish.
Every Sunday. Where I can bet my wife or my mother into white slavery, he's going to do it. I need that to know that's what he's going to do again, only from a different text, but he's going to do that again.
And I'll be honest, I certainly am not going into even faithful churches expecting perfection. I've got room for faithful pastors.
Sure.
No one's perfect.
Yep.
Pastors need your forgiveness and prayers as much as anybody, maybe even more so.
Yep.
Given the nature of the church.
Yep.
And I am ever thankful for our faithful pastors, and you guys know who you are. There's so many of you that I know. And I think how many men get to live this life and know that many great faithful men, pastors who are just getting this done day in and day out.
Yep.
But it's what we who struggle in our faith, who are anxious on any given day, need to be hearing. You and me. That stuff is, especially in these end times, they're getting harder and darker every day right now. And I'm sure if you're like us, you're feeling it. You're seeing it. It's in the news. It's everywhere. And boy, is it hard to be anxious with everything that's going on right now. Times are hard. And when the church returns to its roots in the gospel, you will find that you are going to be running to that place in a way that I believe, and I'm speaking from my own experience because I'm historically a rebel. You're gonna run
Amen.
towards that thing in a way where you were running away from it a moment ago, because you're getting the thing you're supposed to be getting.
Yep.
Even unto your own death, you will be able to take it to the grave. Right?
Gospel saves.
Jesus Christ died for you and rose on the third day for your justification. This is 1517. This is Talks with Dad Rod. I hope this is helpful for you. Go to 1517.org for more stuff like this, more good news, and I hope you find us on Facebook and hand us some more questions. And we'll talk to you soon. Thank you for joining us on Talks with Dad Rod, part of the 1517 Podcast Network. This podcast and all 1517's content is made possible through financial support by listeners just like you. Please visit 1517.org for more, and please consider clicking on the donate button and making a recurring or one-time contribution to help us share this good news in a world which so desperately needs it.